Yes, boys, how we all doing, man? Welcome back to the Sunday night video. I promised you boys I'd put this out. If you've seen the last kind of week on the channel, both on Discord, in the Discord community, and also on the community tab here on YouTube, you'll know your boy Footy's had, I've had a little bit of a rough week with mental health, and, I've been out and open with you boys and I'm struggling. And yeah, today's video is going to explain a lot of that in terms of, am I quitting YouTube? What's the kind of future for this channel? Kind of going into depth. There's going to be a lot of different things that maybe, well, if not maybe, in fact, I know for a fact that you boys, won't know about me. Ever since I started this channel, near 3-4 years ago now, during lockdown, I've always, and you boys know me, you're always going to get it completely honest, you know what I mean? I don't, beat around the bush on things. I just say it how it is usually. And I'll say how I'm feeling, and that's why it was important for me to make this video. So yeah, as I say, it's just gonna be a laid back. I'm not gonna try and, I'm gonna try and leave this video as unedited as possible, just kind of laid back, chill element to it, covering a load of different things. But the first thing I think to say, boys, in terms of addressing what I put out, earlier in the week there on the community tab post, which was hypothetically, if this channel became available, would someone take it over, or would someone be interested in taking it over? Now, obviously, just overwhelming show of support from the community on those comments, man. Just, yeah, absolutely amazing to read. And that's one thing I never doubt, and I want to get that across to start this video this evening, is that if I ever did take the decision to leave YouTube, and that's a hint of what's coming up, because, yeah, your boy is not leaving. Yeah, not yet anyway. As I said, we're going to get on to that in a wee second, but if I ever did leave, you boys know it would never be because of the community. I have been blessed to do this channel for 3 to 4 years. It has been an absolute blast, every single thing I've done about it, and every single thing I've done with it, should I say. And with you boys, as a community effort, we've achieved a lot, we've grown a lot. And I like to think I've grown as a person in the last 4 years, going from a 19-year-old to a 23-year-old now. I've learned a lot about the industry as well, and about, working with different people. And it's been an overall very, very positive experience. And I say overall, there's been very little negatives. And any negatives, as I'll get into later in this video, have been, more about on my side of things, and more about maybe how I'm dealing with things, more so than anyone's fault. For example, it's no one's fault, but yeah, it's more just about how I'm kind of dealing with things. But yeah, as I say, the big thing I want to say first and foremost, boys, is that am I quitting YouTube? No, I am not quitting YouTube. I put a post out, or a video up last night, about, it was an Adama FUT birthday review. And I think the big thing for me is that in last night's video, that kind of was me kind of coming back. That was the video, and I kind of said on the Discord last night that, I have an absolute blast what I do. This week's been a real tough week for me, and I just think, to be honest, boys, I've had a burnout. Now, we're going to get a lot of deeper issues in this video as well as the video progresses. I don't know how long this video is going to be. I'm going to try and make it as short and to the point as possible. But yeah, I think for me, the number one thing I want to say is the burnout. Now, a lot of people obviously watch YouTube, but they don't know what goes in behind the scenes. Obviously I go live, 2-3 times a week. So those streams, I'm with you boys there and then in that moment. But behind the scenes, you've got, obviously I work 2 jobs myself. I've got my own personal life to deal with. And then obviously you've got your people that work for the channel. So I have an editor that does all the videos. So I'm back and forth commenting with him. I have emails, I have meetings about potential sponsors, and, people reaching out for extra meetings, or, can you, schedule a time to do this and do that. And sometimes it's just a case of, you literally need more hours in the day. And obviously there's time pressure with that as well. Obviously the thumbnail stuff, that side of things. Obviously I do have more than one channel as well. So, I've took on that burden a couple of years ago of having 2 or 3 channels for different types of content I do. Now, obviously, I'm not as active on those as I am on this main channel, because this main channel is my business. It's my, it's my 3rd job, if you like, because you boys have put me in an amazing position to be earning from this. So, yeah, like the whole YouTube side of things, boys, I want to get this straight off my chest, first of all. There's 2 things I want to say. This community means the absolute world to me. I started this channel 3 years ago. I always use this saying on stream. I started this 3 years ago near 4 years ago in lockdown, right? Streaming to like one person, averaging about 5-10 views on a video. And you look at the channel now and where it came from and not to where it is now is an absolute just amazing, incredible journey, man. And you boys have facilitated that. You boys already know that anyway, man. Like, as I say, I can't love this community more. You just mean the absolute world to me. And if I ever did choose to leave YouTube, it would be, this community would be not one reason for that, because you boys are the shining light, man. And obviously, as I say, it's been a real tough week for me. I have hit that burnout phase. So one of my jobs is a really early morning one. I'm starting like 4 or 5 in the morning. Doing that time around midday. Then I'm coming home. Usually going out to coach. Then I'm in the evening, whether I'm streaming, recording, editing. It's a full day at it, man. And then I'm thinking, right, well, after that, then there's obviously emails to read. There's, for potential meetings for, a thumbnail design or a, back and forth commenting with your video editor or what way the next video is going to go. So, working for yourself, boys, and some of you boys in the community, watching this video will might work for yourself as well. Certainly has a lot of plus points, certainly has a lot of negative points. And I've learned that in the last 4 years, the more and more this channel has grown. And obviously now that I'm able to do this part-time, thanks to you boys, it's, you really do realize it's an amazing thing, but it can also be very, very demanding, man. If you work a 9 to 5 job, you can go to your work, go to 9 to 5, and then you're done at 9 to 5. You can switch off at 5. That's not the same for people that work, for themselves, because you have to be, not that you can't take a break or a holiday or anything like that there, but you have to be mentally switched on at all times. Where I'll stream or I'll do a video, and then I'm already thinking, right, what's the next video? What's the next stream? What's, the behind the scenes, boys, takes up about 60-70% of being an actual YouTuber / content creator. That's the reality to it. And, anyone that does this to a level where they're, like myself, where they're, actually earning money from it, or actually, prioritizing time aside to push it further and further, will know that. Now, with all that being said, I'm in a brilliant position with this channel, and now I'm questioning myself earlier in the week of why I put that comment out. I'll be completely real, because it's such a part of my life now, boys, with this community that we build, and we build every day. And I've said this to you boys before, man. Yous are like a second family to me. Yous really, really are. I can't see a life for me without this channel. Now, when I say that, that's the big thing with the mental health side of things, right? I need to make sure that I'm on top of my game with this, and that I'm trying to make the best content as possible for you boys. I do not want to be rushing into more stuff and trying to take on more and more stuff when I'm just simply not capable of it, when I'm running everything, as one person. Because even as I say, I've got an editor and thumbnail guy that works for the channel, but obviously that still demands some of my time to be messaging them exactly what designs and edits I want. So whilst I'm not editing the videos myself personally, I'm still obviously utilizing time to, be back and forth commenting with them or on video calls with them, explaining things. So obviously that all demands a lot of time. So yeah, that's a big thing for me. As I say, I think the big realization, boys, of earlier in the week when I put that comment out, I was in a really, really bad place. I'll say a really, really bad place. There's people in worse places. You boys know me. I'm not gonna dramatize anything. That's not the way I roll, man. And all you boys know that. You've been loyal members of this community for years, but and you know, even if you've only been a member of the channel for a couple of months, you know the way I am from the streams and videos. But I was in a low place. And every now and again I get that. But when I jump on stream, it's like a distraction. Or I do a video, it's a distraction. And the thing for me is, as I say, it's managing that burnout. I think for myself, boys, it's about taking a step back. It's about potentially maybe, I'm not going to commit to anything on this video saying I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. But for me, if you're looking like a kind of schedule of what I plan, I am planning on probably doing a video, trying to aim for a video every day, but I'm not going to stress myself out and pressure myself if I can't do it every day. I'm going to try and do at least a video every 2 days. But try and aim for a video every day. If it happens, it happens. Or, I'll manage it around what I can do. And then I'm going to plan to stream twice a week. That is the plan. But sometimes it might be just once a week, maybe on a Sunday evening. I think Sunday I'll definitely stream Sunday evenings. Because starting off with next Sunday, by the way, but I'll get into that a little bit later in the video. So yeah, that's kind of the plan with that. I think streams, I'm going to take a little bit of a step back on. Now, I love the interaction with you boys, and as I say, that's why I would never stop streaming full time, or stop streaming, completely, because I think I like the idea of managing things, even if it's just, listen, I'm saying all this now, this could just be for the next 6 months, just to get my head straight and get things figured out, boys. But if I'm uploading, say, 7 videos a week, right? Maybe not every day, but maybe that could be 2 videos on a day and then 1 on every other day or whatever else. We'll work it some way. But just, if I can work things around that, because obviously the streaming side of things, usually the thing with streaming, which is very restrictive, is obviously, I'm going to be live for content most evenings. Because obviously morning streams, nobody's used to me being live in the morning time, UK. So, although with our audience obviously being, across the world, different countries different time zones that might work better for certain people. But obviously, you boys know me to be a 6 p.m. content streamer. So for me with streams, that's kind of the plan. It's kind of, because it's restrictive in the sense that I'm always live for the content time, or it's a late night stream, I got to factor in, right, what way does that work with my schedule, and what way can I manage that, I guess, to make sure that I'm not burning myself out, I guess you could say. So that's one of the big things I want to say. I think whatever I say, I can't say a life without this channel. It means so much to me, and this community means so much to me. Like that is never a truer word spoken, But I also don't want you boys thinking, oh Jack, your health's the most important thing, so don't just be prioritizing, the channel over that. I would not do that. I think this week's been a big realization for me, boys, that sometimes you just gotta take a step back in life and realize, right, this is the way I'm feeling. Acknowledge the way you're feeling, and move from there. And I think that's kind of where I'm at the minute. I don't want you boys thinking I'm pressuring myself into, just because I can't see, myself not doing the channel anymore, I'm pressuring myself into doing it. I think this week's been a big realization, boys, of why I will not do that. I'm old enough, mature enough. I'm going to get into a few different personal things in a wee second as well, because I want to share this with you boys on the topic of this video, away from the YouTube side of things, but I think it's contributing to the way I'm feeling this week as well. But as I said in the Discord server last night, I love what I do on this channel, truly. There's nothing in this world, boys, that gives me more joy than putting content out for you boys, seeing the response, whether I'm live. I love the daily interactions, or the interactions where we're live, the reading the comments. I'm always a big comment replier, heart and comments, replying to comments. You boys know if you put a comment in, you can be sure as hell that I'm going to reply to it as well, man, because it's the next best thing after live interaction, right? So that's what I do it for, man. I've always said that from day one. And it's the same reason I do it on the streams, and I'm trying to make sure it's included, including everybody, and trying to reply to everyone as much as I can with the live chat comments. The channel is a community for me. That's the biggest thing. Whether that channel is at 5,000, whether it's at 7,000 like it is now, whether it's at 100,000 in a couple of years, the more it grows, that fundamental core of the channel is never going to change, man. And I can shake each one of your boys' hands right now that are here with me and members of this community right now. That's never going to change, man, because that's what I built this channel on. And that's, if that ever changed, that would be truly the day that I would leave. Because that's kind of like my morals with this channel, if you like. I'm not going to shift from that. So yeah, just wanted to get that main point out there, I guess you could say, boys, in terms of I actually, I do want to keep creating. It's not like, I'm forcing myself to get back into this. No, that definitely not. As I say, if anything, this last week's made me give me the realization that taking a step back at times is very, very important. And just, I'll be honest, I probably wasn't before. I was just going full throttle before, stream, video, going to work, personal life. You have different things. I have to try and factor in family time, of course, as well. My family mean the world to me as well, of course. So I'm trying to factor in family time for to chill with them and different things. So yeah, because life's short, man. You gotta enjoy it while we're all here, right? So you just gotta manage everything, and it can be very, very tough at times when you're the face of the channel, I guess you could say. But as I say, I am blessed with this channel. I love what I do on this channel, and that's never going to change. I was feeling down during the week, and that post was probably, the post stands true. I stand by the post, but that I put up with the hypothetically if someone wants to take it with the channel. But that was more me just putting that out in terms of probably a real low point. I think I put the post out on Tuesday, Wednesday, a real low point in terms of when you're at this point, boys, and you're like, oh my God, I just can't continue. That was kind of the point I was at. But then whenever, 24 hours later, that on the Thursday evening, for example, I was kind of coming to the realization of, right, okay, I've had a bad week, I've had a real bad moment here. How can I get myself back on track and realize that, we can keep managing this, but take a step back and think of different ways to kind of manage it and break it down a little bit for myself better, if that makes sense. So yeah, as I say, for me, I love what I do on this channel, as I say. So yeah, that is one thing to clear up 100%, boys. I love creating content, and I want to keep doing that as well. It gives me genuine joy in this world. So that's going to continue, as I'm sure a lot of you boys are glad to hear. And I know it was great to see all the comments last night in the video as well for the kind of return video, if you like, the Adama video. But yeah, man, as I say, I want to get into a few wee different things here that I have shared. Before I actually do that, just a few different things, as I say, that I think contributed this last week as well. Because, this last week's been, as I say, it's been a real slump for me, boys. Really, just really low, man. Really low point. But I do get that every now and again. And, I'm going to get into a few things here as well that I think contributed as well this week to why I'm down. It's not just the YouTube burnout. I think there's a few different things that would be contributing to that as well. With this last week, whilst I've been in a slump, as I say, it's also been a real point for me. I think I mentioned it on Discord the other night. It's been a real, point of self-reflection for me. I've just really been thinking about different things, obviously with the channel, of course. But yeah, just like, I guess, a lot of self-reflection. Like, I mean, as I say, I work the early job as well. As you boys know, I have the second job in the afternoon. Obviously, I'm thinking, how do I manage all this as well? And then I've Lent. I don't know whether you boys know about Lent. It's like a Christian tradition. Some people do it every year where you can make a sacrifice or you go off things. So like some people go off like chocolate or sweets or something. But this year, my Lent sacrifice is actually being no phone. No phone no phone before bed. And I find that to be really, really helping me, boys, in terms of my sleep. My mind's obviously really active. As I just said earlier in the video, like working for yourself on the channel, any content creator will tell you, like, you very rarely switch off because you're editing something, you're thinking of your next video. All my videos, boys, I do as well are script written as well. There's a script goes into them, if that makes sense. So like, it means that pretty much it's, if I'm making a FIFA video, right, I will have, say a paragraph on a Word document ready for that video so that I'm planned already what I'm going to be kind of saying. Because why I do that is obviously it means then that I don't have to stick to the Word document. Obviously, I'm not, it doesn't have to be like word for word, but it means then that it saves me a lot of time and it saves my editor a lot of time, obviously editing the video after. Because if I go on to do a video on, certain things, like say I do a guide on how to get more packs for birthday, right? Like, if I just go on up my time and start recording, like, I'm going to have to start thinking about things off the top of my head, whereas if I have them wrote down and I know what I'm saying, I might mess words up a few times, but it means it's a lot quicker for them to edit. So that's why I do that. But yeah, that's another thing, it takes up time, script writing and preparation. So, as I said earlier, very hard to switch off at times when you're a content creator, and that's one thing that I'm going to try and make myself do, and force myself to have that little bit of me time, I guess you could say, free time, whatever you want to call it, right? But just a little bit of time to just step back. So yeah, that's one of the big things I'm going for Lent, boys, is that I'm not going to have my phone on before bed, man. Because I'm usually, be scrolling through and, making notes on my phone of different videos and stuff before bed. That's my usual schedule, man. When I get off stream in the evening, usually I'm back and forth on emails for about an hour, get some food, get showered, get to bed, and then I'm usually up in bed at night, just making notes on my next videos. But I'm not gonna do that. There's gonna be I'm not gonna put my phone on after probably about 8 o'clock in the evening, man. Now, that's my new target. Because if I can do that and take a complete detox from social media away from my job side of things, which is obviously the channel, I think it's gonna be, and I think it's gonna benefit me. It will benefit me. I can already see an advancement, boys, in my mood from even last week in terms of like the sleep, like getting like that 8-hour sleep that people recommend has been huge, man. So yeah, for me not sitting up an extra hour and a half on my phone before going to bed, if I'm actually sleeping during that time, you can think of the extra time that I'm getting during that as well, man. Especially with me when I work an early job too, when I'm up at like, crazy hours as well. Your boy needs his sleep. So I think that's one of the big things I've kind of focusing on as well. It's kind of like no phone before bed, but also it's like a social media detox kind of thing as well at that time. So that's that. But let's jump into a few more personal things, all right? Okay, so, and this always, right? Because as I say, this last week I've been in a slump, but this isn't just, okay, it's a random week, he's just been in a slump, and then everything goes back to normal and I'm fine. No, that's far from the reality, as I'm sure all you boys would know. We all have our down moments, and usually it's not just one moment that gets you down and then you're down for ages and then you're suddenly top of the world again and everything's fine for the rest of your life. That's very rarely how it goes. It'd be brilliant if it was that way, but that's very, very rarely how it goes, unfortunately. So for me, as I say, I get this every now and again. Now this week's been a real slump, of course. This is why I'm putting this video out, because I've had a real down moment this week. But general times, boys, the stream, people always say to me in the streams, like, the streams are a distraction. They give me joy and laughter in a time of struggle in my life. These are, some of you boys have said that in the past in your own lives, right? And, I'm exactly the same. And I've said that on stream before, never really went into detail about it, but I've said that on stream before. You boys, I have my tough times. Usually, if you give me a 7-day period, there's probably 2 of those days, boys, that I'm not feeling that great, man, to be honest. And, some of those days that I'm not feeling that great, I might be on stream that evening, man. And I might look on stream like I'm amazing and, or not amazing. I might look on stream like I feel amazing, like I'm, super positive and, full of life. And reality is that I'm not putting on an act on stream. That is the way I feel on stream, all right? Because I would never put on an act. You boys know, if I didn't feel like streaming, I'll just not stream. That's the last week for me. This last week I've been in a real slump and I've been in no position to stream. Because if I went on stream and I'm acting amazing and happy, that's not how I'm feeling inside. So I'll never do that. I'm never gonna force myself to go on a live stream and try and, you boys deserve a really, high energy, high entertaining stream. That's what I always try to provide. So if I can't provide that, which I couldn't do last week the way I was feeling, I'll just simply not do it. So, because you boys deserve better. Say I've done about 100 streams over the last year or so, boys, I can guarantee you, man, at least 20, 30 of those days that I'm streaming, my day before I went on stream probably wasn't that great. Thing is, though, when I get on stream, I feel amazing because you boys, you give me that. And I like to think I can hopefully give that energy back and stuff as well. So that's the amazing thing. The stream's a distraction from it, and I genuinely feel, amazing and super positive and all when I get on stream and recording content and stuff, because you boys put me in the position, man, that we've got a great community and I love making the content for you. So, yeah. In so many ways that, even if I have had a bad day, whether it's work-wise or whatever, or I'm just feeling low, the streams are like a tonic for that, man. So, yeah, when I'm live on those nights, like, over the last year, for example, and maybe some of those days I haven't been feeling great, but, I'll go live because, yeah, I know that I'll always be super positive on stream again because you boys will make me that way because you genuinely make me happy. So the differentiation, I guess, from it, boys, whereby, this last week, like, I just couldn't. I was such in a low mood that, yeah, I just wouldn't have been able to stream, man. Whereas usually, even if I have had a bad day, and, we all have our low moments, I've certainly had loads, but this community, when I am live, like, that's not me, like, oh, he's super low, but he's acting happy. No, I genuinely am happy when I'm live. Even if I've had an absolute shit day before it and I'm low, that for that couple of hours I'm live, boys, I'll be buzzing, man, because this community gives me that. And, yeah, hopefully I give it back to you legends as well if you're having a tough time yourselves. But, yeah, I think I want to touch on a few things here in this video as well. Things that just in general life, when we just talk about that in terms of, okay, I've had a real bad slump this last week, but over the last, couple of years, maybe I've always not been at my happiest, in truth. And I think one of the couple of big things of that is, and whenever, in moments like last week, or this week gone by, boys, when I do hit a low point or I'm on a burnout or whatever else, whenever, and I'm sure this happens to some of you boys as well, whenever you have something that you, what's the way to best explain it? Whenever you have something, right, that really annoys you or really gets you low, maybe it's just my brain. I'm sure some other people, have the same, but my brain makes me think of other things then that get me low, and it kind of snowballs. So one big thing, and I'm just going to go with this because, as I say, there's a few things to just to talk to you boys about in this video, but dyspraxia, man. Your boy Footy has dyspraxia. Now, you might be looking at me going, what the hell is that? And I wouldn't blame you if you don't know what it is, because a lot of people don't know what it is. A thing that, I wouldn't say misunderstood, but it's just people don't know about it, man. It's not really known. I have a very mild form of it, boys, so, you wouldn't notice, if you're watching this and you do know what it is already, you wouldn't have picked up, from my content that I have it. It's defined as, a developmental coordination disorder. Now, for me, my main issues with it is it's the unknown for me is the real worry, and it does get me down, I will be honest. This is one of the biggest things for me. As I say, I'm laying it all out on the table today, man, because I just want to be completely honest with people, and sometimes this has affected my mood a lot recently as well, because this video is kind of a two-way thing where it's explaining what's going on with the channel and what way I'm feeling, but also factoring into you boys, my understanding of why I feel like I'm feeling this way, if that makes sense. So, this has been another big thing, man. This is a constant for me, all right? I live with this. Now, I could have many, many worse things, so by no means am I going to say, oh my God, this is awful. I am someone in life, boys, I always try and get on with things. I'm not someone that tries to, I am someone who, I'm strong with what I'm trying to do. I'm focused. I'm determined on things. If I set my mind on something, I'm going to be trying, I'm going to try my absolute utmost to try and do it, man. Dyspraxia is a thing where I do get annoyed with it because it does affect my coordination. It has done for years. Ever since I was young, I've had this condition where it's a very, as I say, it's a very, very mild form, and I want to stress that. But it does have its effect on me. It does have its effect on me. There's absolutely no doubts on that. Used to really, really affect my confidence, man. I used to be, in wow, well, I'm 23 now, man. When I was during my teen years, man, those type of things really hit me, having that, because what it is it's a coordination issue. So, things like, I don't know, you could have things like tying a tie, right, which a lot of people struggle with. You could have things with opening a gate. You could have things like, anything you can think of that demands like a good little bit of coordination, your boy likely struggles with that. I likely struggle with that. And the biggest thing that really annoys me about it, boys, is I can't prepare or I can't learn about it or learn with it, really. Because it's one of those things that you don't know what you're going to encounter with your daily life, man. Like, I throw myself in situations, and it's the best thing to do when you have something, because you just got to learn and adapt, right? And that's what I try and do. But I don't know what I'm going to encounter with it each day. Like, for example, I could be out doing my football coaching job. And there could be some sort of gate or something that demands maybe it's like quite awkward for an average person to do, like the regular person to do. In comes your boy over here with this coordination issue, and it would be, if you watched me, what really annoys me about it, boys, is if you watch me do it, right? If you watch me do something, you will look at me and go, why is he doing that in a really awkward way? That's probably the most honest assessment I can put on what way to explain it easily to people who aren't aware of it. So yeah, like if I'm doing a task and some of you boys could probably do it in half the time I do it in, because it's my brain will tell me to do it a way that might be awkward and more confusing than the average way of doing it, right? And that's fine. Listen, for me, it's not the actual task is the problem. It's more how that used to affect my confidence, man. And it doesn't affect my confidence anymore, but it affects my esteem at times, because it gets me down thinking, right, two people doing the same task, someone else and me, and I don't care if they do it way quicker than me. It's not a time-based thing. It's more of the fact that they could look at me and go, like, does this guy not have any common sense? Does this guy not, what is this, man? Why is he making that look so awkward? It's such a simple task. And that's a very generalized thing, a way of explaining this disorder for me. Now, it's different for every people. Other people have dyspraxia and it's more extreme, and they might have severe coordination problems. Maybe they can't even play sport. Like, I've played football all my life, boys, and I can play it to a decent level. I coach it now as well. So there's things in my life that you would never, when you meet, if you met me, right, one-to-one, you'd never realize I had this. But and as I say, so many people don't even know what it is, which is fair enough, because it's massively, not misunderstood, but it's massively just unknown. But that is something in my life that, I will be honest, really, really affects me. That is something that's an ongoing thing. It's not, it contributes into things. Like, I had an incident with dyspraxia this week, and that's kind of contributed and snowballed into the fact of this, week that I've had, and it's just added in another issue into my mind. So, yeah, that is one of the big things I do want to say. So yeah, I just wanted to address that. As I say, that's been a big thing where I'm glad now it doesn't affect any of my confidence or anything, but it's still an issue where, it can make me down at times, boys, that I have this. And listen, it is what it is, man. We all have something, right? And the reason I bring it up is just because, as I say, one, it's factored into the way I'm feeling and my health this week. It's another thing that's kind of, because I had an issue, with an incident during the week there with my coordination that really got me, and I kept playing it over and over in my mind. That got me low, man. Second reason, boys, is just I just want to be honest with it, man. I want to, you boys see me on stream, you see me on the videos. Most of you legends have been long-time followers of the channel. You all know me, and I'd like to think you know me, on a more personal level now as well. You've been watching the channel for a long time, so you know the way I am as a person as well, my personality type and stuff. And I want to share this, man, because you might look at me on camera and go, Jack's, he's a good guy, he's super confident on camera, he delivers a good stream and stuff. And whilst all that may be true, and obviously I've built up the experience and my confidence in doing this for the last 3 to 4 years, and I'm glad to say that the way I am on stream, boys, is more and more like the way I am in real life now as well. Like, I used to be a real shy kid back, during GCSE years and stuff. Like, had a lot of stress and a lot of anxiety, man. I've went through that. Real worries that, were really, really depressing me back then. And I was the quiet. I was real quiet. But now, if any boys meet me in the street, we can, I believe, whilst I'm putting myself with a load of things that are wrong with me in this episode, or a load of things that I'm saying are down, one thing I do know about myself, because I think from a mind, I am, for a 23-year-old, I'm quite mature. I am a very, very deep thinker, which has its pros and cons. The positives are that you have a lot of empathy, and you see things, and for 23, you know a lot of the way a lot of the way the world works, but you've also, we're still having to learn a lot, but you know a lot of the way the world works, because I'm a very, very deep thinker, and I just know, as I say, I know the way things are, but Compared to some other 23-year-olds, that seem people my age. So yeah, that's the positives. The negatives obviously are that with especially when we're talking about the mental health side of things, like it can really snowball. I can really not fixate, but I can really if something gets in my head, it can be difficult to shake. I go replay it in my mind, man. You know what I mean? So yeah, but as I say, that is definitely me. I mean, I'm a deep thinker, but I want to put that out there. In other words, and just talk about this dyspraxia openly with you boys, because while it's just not the most severe disorder I could have, and there's people with way worse stuff out there. So let's just say that, man. By no means am I gonna sit here and go, oh, I'm so I'm fed up of having this and whatever else. It's my thing. But I want to put it out there so that, you boys watching this video, man, there might be, 20, 30, 50, 100 people out of the people watching this video, out of you boys in the community that struggle with your own issues or have your own, irregularities, should we say, of life, whether it's a disorder or something you've got, man. Don't be ashamed of it. It's part of you. It's part of you, and it's about learning how to adapt with that, man. I mean, some things are more tougher to deal with than others. But yeah, I just want to get that out there and say that's a big issue with me as well. And genuinely, I'm glad it doesn't affect my confidence anymore, but it definitely affects my esteem at times. The way I'm feeling, I can filter into different things, especially if I've had a low day and then I've got that on top of things, and you have an instant with that where you're trying to do a task and then you perform it badly or something, and it's the thing with dyspraxia, boys. It's always a constant worry. I can't go. It's not a case of going, oh, well, I've got dyspraxia, so if I know what I'm doing in the day, it's fine. If someone tells me, right, you're going to be doing this task in 3 hours, I can go, right, well, I may try and prepare that in my mind so I'll not fuck up. But it's something that's fresh, it's something unknown. If you're in your everyday life and something pops up, which happens, and you've everyday tasks to perform, I say everyday tasks, everyday tasks is genuine, very general, there's a lot of things I can do, but there's some things that, if it could be a real easy thing for one of you boys to do, that I might make look real awkward and real. It looks as if you were looking on and watching me do it, you'd be thinking, "What? This guy's got no common sense, man. Why is he doing it that way? Just do it this way." And he's done it in half the time. So yeah, that kind of thing. That's where it affects me, my esteem, because I'm thinking, right, well, what people are looking at me going, "What's this guy doing, man? What does he just lack brain cells?" So yeah, that's the thing with that. I was going to say, there's definitely a few other things I want to cover in this before I do wrap up, but yeah, I think the main thing was the burnout, boys. I wanted to cover that dyspraxia, definitely. The deep thinker thing, that, as I say, that's just part of the dyspraxia and my kind of mental state as a whole. I am someone who thinks very, very deep about things, which has its pros and cons, as I say, but yeah, years ago, I used to be in a real bad place around GCSE time. I really struggled. In recent years, it's been a lot better. This channel has been, it's because it's given me something to focus on, focus my efforts on. It's been real good, man. But yeah, just want to put that out there, as I say, with the dyspraxia, because you boys look at me on stream, you may think, oh, this, Jack's great, and he's always super confident, and you enjoy the content, he delivers a good stream, etc. But there's issues behind me like there is with everyone else, boys. You know what I mean? So I'm no different than that. You know what I mean? I'm a regular person, boys, with many issues, of course, man, like we all have. So yeah, that pretty much leaves us to the end of the video, boys. Yeah, I think we've covered a lot there, man. I hope I haven't just rambled on for 45 minutes here. I'm going to have to try and edit that down a little bit, I think. But that's the kind of point of today's video. I just wanted to kind of get things off my chest, speak about that wee disorder that I have, because I don't even feel ashamed of it anymore. I shouldn't be. So I just thought, let's put it out there, let you boys know, because that's something that always affects me. You could watch me in 2 weeks, boys, and I'll be in maybe in a better mood than I am now, but and I am feeling a lot better. I got to say that as well. I'm feeling a lot better now than I did, say, this is Sunday, say Tuesday there. I'm feeling a lot better now than I was on Tuesday, but it's just going to be a little bit of a process. I think the wee social media detox will help me a lot with just managing things a little bit better. And yeah, as I say, with that little bit of a coordination thing I've got, boys, it just shows that, people, there's so many people out there that are you would never believe that suffer from things or, have issues, whatever way you want to describe it. So it's yeah, that's my story, man. That's my thing put out there. And that does feed into me, even if I'm in a great mood in 2 weeks' time, that's still something that's always in the back of my mind, and it's always something that I'm thinking about. So, and something that I have to just deal with, in everyday life. So that is that. Yeah, I think that's pretty much most things I wanted to cover, boys. Plan going forward, obviously, as I say, the main thing is I'm taking a little bit of a step back, but they're still going to be very, very active on the channel. So probably expect about 4 or 5 videos a week. As I say, I don't want to set goals, or not goals. I don't want to set deadlines or targets on this video, because that's taking away the whole thing you know, from what I'm saying, and I'm pretty much being a hypocrite then. If I go and say now, right, okay, expect 3 streams next week and 6 videos, there's no point me saying that. What I'm going to do is I'm planning to pretty much upload most nights, boys, if not, I say most nights, like I'll say, as I say, expect like regular uploads, which I've kind of been doing on the channel recently anyway, right, over FC25. So expect the video side of things to not really change much, because it's going to still be as frequent as they are, usually every other day, or, you know, usually 3 to 4 videos a week at least. And then on the stream side of things, like, I will always be streaming at least once a week, because I want to keep that, you know, that interaction with you boys. You legends of the community. You boys are the people that put this channel, make this channel what it is, and put this channel where it is. I've got this channel where it is, and help this channel to continue to grow. Aside from that, you just give me the personal joy of having the pleasure to stream to you, you know, whenever I do. So, yeah, I love that live interaction. I don't want that ending. So, yeah, I think Sunday nights, boys, might be the stream that I do each week. But as I say, you know, because I think that'll be a nice thing, like having, obviously, all the video content during the week, and then, you know, for me to be live on a Sunday evening, you know, reflecting on the week, I guess you could say. But, you know, it'll be a FIFA stream. Whereas like a late night pack opening or a FUT Champs, or whether it's 6 p.m. content. But it'll be, you know, I think Sunday would be a good day, and then potentially like a Friday as well for the new promo. But, you know, I don't want to set here and now, that, you know, times for stream. But the main thing is, as I say, I'm taking a little bit of a step back, thinking about, you know, myself and trying to better myself. Because that's the thing with this Lent as well, this Christian practice. You know, I usually every year just go off like chocolate and sweets. This year, it's a bit more of a personal one for me, where I'm trying to work on myself as, you know, just different things I'm going to try and improve about my life, in terms of like the sleep, for example, is a big thing. So trying to take that social media detox, not go on my phone before, or, you know, in the lead up to bedtime, but, you know, 1 or 2 hours before bed. I've done that for the last week now, and it's already I'm really seeing the benefits from that already. So that's going to keep going. And yeah, just generally, you know, I want to put this video out there, speak about my mind. You know, people say speak your mind. So listen, that's what I've done. Hopefully, I haven't just blabbered on for ages here. In these type of videos, you never know, do you? Because you want to get a load out, you know, but then you're also thinking, am I repeating myself? Am I saying this? Am I saying that? But that's generally it, boys. Long story short, your boy Footy's taking a step back, but I am definitely not leaving YouTube. This is what I do best. I am blessed to have the community I have. This last week's been tough. This last wee while's been tough, if I'm honest. Not just the last week, but the last week's been a real low point, as I said. But yeah, I'm excited for the future, man. I don't listen. My life, trying to balance everything can be tough, but you know, because I've got some really good and you know, I've got some real managing your family life, your personal life, your 2 jobs, my side job. It does add up. It does add up. As I said earlier in the video, but. You know, with this kind of new layout, if you like, new setup with the video style of things, and then obviously the stream at the end of the week, or maybe 2 streams, you know, Friday and Sunday, for example, I think that'll be a lot more manageable for me. And I'm not going to sit here and go, oh, that's going to be the new schedule from now until eternity. No, we'll see how it goes. And if I feel like I can do another day of a stream, we'll go with that. But most important thing is that I'm in a blessed position with this channel. You boys give me everything. I could not ask for a better community. And the growth. The game this year's been atrocious, as we know, and that hasn't helped things in terms of like motivation for making content on the game. Because the thing with YouTube is obviously, if you look at the channel right now, like the channel right now has never been doing as well as it is. Considering the game and the decline of the game this year and the decline of the player base, the channel is still growing very, very consistently well. I mean, just go on to the videos recently. Like, most of them are averaging over 1,000 views at least, which is amazing for a channel of our size as well. I mean, the streams, they always do well because we've got the live interaction and very, very loyal members of the channel like you boys. So, yeah, you know, a lot of people leave YouTube when the numbers are dwindling. I mean, that is the ironic thing is during the week when I put that comment out, like if I was to leave this channel, I'm leaving it in a point where, you know, it's probably the worst point I could leave. Now, obviously, if I really do need to leave and I simply can't continue anymore, I will make that decision where and when that's appropriate. But, you know, it would be sad. I think I'd be very, very sad, boys, if I left this channel, because it means a lot to me and this community means a lot to me and I love what I do. So, yeah. And I know you boys enjoy what I put out, man. I'm blessed to have that community whereby I know how, you know, whatever I post and whatever how frequent it is, a lot of you boys will still show up for me, man, and I really, really appreciate that. So, Yeah, as I say, hopefully this video is not going to just ramble on for like 50 minutes. I'm going to try and shorten it a little bit in the editing, and then we'll see what we get to. Thank you so much for watching, boys. Expect videos during the week. Expect me to be live. I'm going to do a little bit of a stream. I think I'm going to do 2 streams this week. Probably going live Wednesday, and then probably again on Sunday. That's the plan. So Wednesday and Sunday for this week coming in. Wednesday will be a 6 p.m. content stream. Sunday will be probably a later evening one. So yeah, expect those streams. Obviously videos throughout the week as well. The whole host of wide variety of content that we do, from player reviews, pack openings, player ranking videos, all that kind of thing. So a wide variety there. So yeah, I'm excited, man. Hope you boys are as well. Biggest thing for me at this video, I am feeling a lot better than I did a few days ago. It's a process. Mental health isn't just a thing that goes away. You know, we all experience it at times, some more than others. But I'm at an age where I'm 23. I'm learning more and more about myself every day, but I'm also learning how to manage things, you know, maybe more so now than I used to do. But yeah, I believe I'm very mature for my age, and that's one of my good points. You know, I can see things, I can see. Some people don't have that. Some people don't see the way they are, whereas I can go, right, okay, I can see myself. What's my problems right now, and try and develop and improve on those, right? So yeah, that's what I'm going to try and work on. But the content's going nowhere. This is what I do best. This is what I love doing. So yeah, and the channel's on the up. So how could I leave you boys, man? How could I leave you boys? So yeah, that's the plan. A few more videos coming out this week. And we'll keep pushing through, boys, as I say, man. But yeah, I really appreciate getting the comments with anything, any questions about today's video. Or if you just want to get in there for a bit of conversation, by all means do so. And yeah, I will see you boys in the next video. And then look over the streams on Wednesday and Sunday, boys, alright? Peace out, have a great one, and enjoy the rest of your Sundays, boys. Take care.